What's going on, YouTube? This is Kilo with another Ghost Recon Wildlands video. I've been really wanting to get around to doing a full review of Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I wanted to make sure that I'd played the game enough and really had a grasp on what I thought about this game. And this is a review coming after lots of time spent in this game. I played the closed beta, the open beta, and I've been playing quite a bit of the game since launch, and so I think I have a good idea of my thoughts and impressions on the full game. So let's get into it. I want to start with just some of the overall pros of the game, the things I like. And first off, I want to start with just the map, Bolivia. I've said before in my impressions that I just think Ubisoft nailed it on the head with Bolivia. It's such a cool open world. The diversity amongst the different regions of the map is fun to see. You can go from the salt flats of Kawani to the forests of Libertad to the deserts of different areas, and it's a really cool, diverse open world. It's massive. I've never played an open world game with a world so big, and just got to give props to Ubisoft for that. The co-op play is a blast as well. If you have a couple of friends or even one friend, a lot of times I play with one of my friends, but it's super fun to just coordinate and be stealthy and work around and do sync shots and the missions. And I think that Ubisoft really was shooting for that. They wanted to make co-op play fun. I think they've done well there. I also like that the game has like the classic Ghost Recon feel, but it's a current feeling game. Even little things like the reload symbol is very akin to what we've seen in the Ghost Recons of old, so I think that's pretty fun. The customization in this game is just sick. Like the character customization, the weapon customization, it's all top notch. And before this game, I always thought of Battlefield 4 when it came to weapon customization, just because it seemed like every player you ran into kind of had a different looking gun. And I think that this game matches and possibly exceeds both the weapon customization and then has that whole customer characterization component that some of the games in the past haven't had to this level. There's tons of guns too, which is really cool. Like I've been playing the game quite a bit and I still have a number of guns to unlock. And I'll talk a little bit more about gunplay later, but there's lots of vehicles. There's helicopters, airplanes, doom buggies, cars, trucks. Some of them handle a little bit weird, and that could be improved. I know a lot of people complain about some of the vehicle handling. I don't think it's awful, but it's not a highlight. So, but just the fact that there are so many vehicles, I think is awesome. And then lastly on the pros is just how much content there is. There's so many bosses, so many missions, so many skills to upgrade and stuff like that you're going to have no shortage of things to do in Ghost Recon Wildlands. And now for the cons. There was something I was really hoping for was PvP at launch. Ubisoft kind of stayed on the down low on that until the game launched, and we got word right before it went live that a PvP would be coming in a future update. So I'm glad that it's coming, but I am disappointed that it wasn't there at launch. I really hope that Ubisoft doesn't manage to screw up PvP. It'd be so easy to make awesome PvP in this game. Just have like section off different areas of the map. They don't even really need to do that much. They just need to close off areas and give tactical, no respawn PvP. And I know that the PvP they've announced is 4v4, which I think sounds cool, but I also wish there was 8v8 on some bigger maps with no respawns, like Last Man Standing, which was a really popular game mode in old Ghost Recon. So fingers crossed, please Ubisoft, do PvP right, because that's what's going to give this game a lot of longevity. And speaking about longevity, without PvP, I think that the game as it stands right now can get kind of repetitive. I'm glad that there's as much content as there is, and I wouldn't change that, but it does sometimes, each region does feel like just wash, rinse, and repeat. New boss, new thing, but just kind of very similar missions and things like that. And then other than those things, there's no major cons in this game for me. There's a number of minor annoyances, things like when you call in a chopper and the rebels spawn it in a tree, or when you repeatedly get spotted by the Unidad helicopters that are on patrol. There's so many Unidad helicopters on patrol, or getting shot down by SAM sites when you're trying to fly across Media Luna, or there's so many SAM sites, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so no game breaking cons by any means, but just a number of little things that can be kind of annoying. So on to some different other categories of the game, the gunplay. Like I mentioned, lots of guns, gun customization on point. And I think the gunplay is pretty good as well. Between your assault rifles, your light machine guns, your SMGs, and your sniper rifles, they play very differently. And that's what I was really hoping for. I'm a big Rainbow Six Siege fan, but one thing I don't like about that game is sometimes the gunplay feels very samey. Like a lot of the guns don't feel that different. I think that's not the case in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Different assault rifles and different snipers handle differently. They sound differently, and I think the gunplay is pretty good. And then now for the sound, I think the sound is good. It's not. I don't think I wouldn't compare it with a Battlefield game, or I feel like EA's games always have such great sound, and I wouldn't quite put it on that level. But the guns sound pretty good. If you take the silencers off, a lot of them sound pretty mean. Some of the sounds I wish were a little bit better. Explosions aren't like booming and could have a little more bass, or like I don't know if you've ever heard the train passing, when a train passes and toots its horn, or I don't know. Does a train toot its horn? I don't know. When it goes, it sounds really weak. But yeah, the sound could be better. The story, again, for an open world game, I think the story is really good. It's when a story is non-linear and you can it's a sandbox and you can do it however you want. I think that a lot of times that presents difficulty in telling a really captivating story. But I think the story here is really good for an open world game. That said, it's not like a Naughty Dog story. I'm not on the edge of my seat during the cutscenes, all engaged and everything. But there are some pretty cool storylines that make some missions stand out, and overall gives a good purpose to why you go about doing the things you do. And then last but not least, the graphics. I think this game, I play on PC. I've seen videos from Xbox and PS4, and it doesn't really wow me. But on PC, if you have a powerful enough rig to run this close to ultra, I play on a GTX 1080, and I run it almost all ultra settings. I have to tone down one or two things, but man, this game is gorgeous. Like the day-night cycle, the weather cycle on Bolivia, like so many different environments and things like that I'm constantly just looking around like, wow, this looks so good. I made a video that highlights some of the prettiest moments that I've seen in the game, so check that one out if you want to see more on the graphics. But in conclusion, I think if you like military shooter games, if you've played any Ghost Recons in the past, or if you think it looks like a game and you're on the edge of whether or not you want to buy and play the game, I say go for it. I think you're gonna like it. You get a lot of value here for the price tag, and especially once PvP is introduced, this game's gonna have so much longevity, assuming they do PvP right, which I believe in Ubisoft. I think they will. But I would give the game, as it currently stands, and I haven't beat it, so this is an initial impression, and I'll update the video with a new score if my impression changes. But right now, I'd give the game a solid 9.0, and I think there is room for improvement there. If PV comes out and it wows, that score will be higher. But I'm enjoying playing Ghost Recon. I plan on playing it for months to come. Plan on publishing lots of content. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and a comment. If there's any content you want me to create on Ghost Recon Wildlands, comment about that. And I hope you guys subscribe, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Kilo out.
It's history. What do you want us to do?